again, we're all getting super busy with kids going back to school, sports, getting ready for all of that. It's just taking a lot of time out, and we may not be spending as much time in our garden. We're also getting kind of frustrated with our garden, where we're seeing lots of diseases and our plants are kind of dying, and we're dealing with all those critters and insects that are just ruining our squash and our tomatoes and all that stuff. But fear not. Actually, now is the best time to get back into our garden and start a fall garden. Many of us don't think about starting a garden in the fall, but this is really one of the best times to do it. I know you've got a lot of those spring seeds that are sitting around, so why not go find those and we'll get started thinking about a fall garden. One of the best things about fall gardening is that everything is optimum. So our soils are warm, so those seeds are going to begin germinating quickly. The temperatures are starting to moderate, so we're not really seeing those big temperature swings like we see often in the spring. We have much more light in the fall than we do in the spring because we're not usually as cloudy and the sun is at a higher angle. And those insects that we are usually dealing with that are bothering us now are pretty much all gone. So one of the tips that you need to know is kind of what can you start this time of year and how do you figure that out? The first thing you need to do is go find those spring seeds that you planted in March and April and flip them back and see how many days to harvest there are. Then what you do is you go to your calendar and you go back and figure out when your last frost date is. Here in Lincoln, it's October 10th. So what we did was we counted back and figured out how many days it is. Then we looked at the back of the seed packet and figured out how many days of harvest. So we sorted through them and we found a whole bunch of seeds that we're going to be able to start. We have some peas, we have some green beans, we have some summer squash, some zucchini. So all of those are going into our garden and we're going to have plenty of time to get those harvested. One other thing that you need to think about though is to add a couple extra days onto the end of that harvest time, just so that you make sure that that fruit is ripe. Especially for those viewers out west where your frost date is a little earlier, closer to the end of September. If you choose that you don't want to start any of those fall veggies, another thing that you really need to start thinking about for the fall garden is what went well, what didn't go well. Keep a note. What did you like? What tasted good? What harvested well? And what gave you the enjoyment of your garden? So what flowers looked fantastic and what would you like to change? Another thing is that there are a lot of new gardeners out there. Did you succeed? Do you want to make your garden a little bit bigger? Now is the best time to do that too. And if you really want to try something new and you haven't done it before, go and grab some seed to start a cover crop. Oats are a really good one for the fall, or you can find some alfalfas or some clovers and those kind of things. Spread that over, get those started, and they'll protect your soil all winter long.